in, Rusty. Bring it in. Just one more lap, boys.
Very few opportunities as an agency where you receive an open brief like this one, a brand brief which is to develop a campaign utilising a very simple number one messaging and performance.
Basically, when we knew that Russell was going to carry the number one in the car going into the 2006 season, it was the first truth point to bring our aspiration of number one in the hearts and minds of our customers to life. And it also gave us the opportunity to look at a creative execution that was so uniquely Australian.
They offered us a really blank canvas and to create something which hadn't been done before, not only for the brand but for the category.
We had a meeting where we put together probably about 8 or 9 concepts we took through, which we call a tissue session, which is really just to look at the different types of ideas, the different territories we could go in.
We sort of came up with various ideas, but one that really stood out was playing off the idea that out in Australian roads, or in this case on the racetrack, flyers tend to get taken out in the grill of V8s. So we thought it'd be a fantastic idea to see what would happen if the Flyers decided to get back at Russell.
We did a lot of consumer testing of the Flyers concept, and unanimously consumers said this really shows success, professionalism, but in a really down-to-earth way.
It's just really exciting that that Caltex has embraced this project like they have. We're really excited from the agency side of things, and it's just fantastic to see that Caltex are as excited as we are.
If a company can do something like this that is entertaining, as well as showing their support of V8 supercars, which has a huge following in Australia, that gets the message across.
The best thing about this particular execution is it's a first. It's a first for Caltex Australia, it's a first for Russell Ingall, it's a first for George Patterson Y&R, the agency that worked so tirelessly on making this campaign come to life.
It should be a pretty amazing bit of film once it's completed.
Russell Ingall's the name. Killing flies is the game. We're out here at Willowbank Raceway doing the Caltex ad. Involves flies, a race car, and me. It's all going to look good, looking forward to doing it, and do a few skids too.
Hi, I'm Graham Burford. I'm the director of Caltex Fly Spot. What do I do in this crazy place? I direct this crazy team. What I first thought when I read the script was that it was going to be a wild commercial, and I wanted to do it.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lesnick. I'm the Director of Photography on the Caltex commercial. I was a cinematographer on Lord of the Rings and King Kong. We're at the Willowbank racing track, and very exciting job. A lot of high-powered machines, a lot of testosterone here. Well, I like to work on big projects, so someone pointed out I worked on Lord of the Rings, and now I'm working on Lord of the Flies. This particular job, this Caltex commercial, we have an abstract concept, which is a swarm of flies.
As Russell does his practice rounds, he's sucking and belting out flies in his air intake of his car, and I think the flies have had enough, so they all gather their mates around and form up into a formidable opposition in another V8 supercar and take Russell on in the track.
So as we film all these shots, the flies are going to be, most of the flies, apart from the ones that Martin has actually delivered to be photographed for real, most of the flies will be digital, and so we have to frame accordingly to allow for wherever they are or what they're doing in any particular shot.
I guess suspend the imagination that you're looking at something that really feels real, although it's just totally unreal.
We shot some simulated travel of Russell in the car, which we did stationary. What this means is that Russell will be providing some of the bumps and grinds, and so will the camera operators.
Doing everything stylistically in a real sort of handheld, in the moment kind of feel. So you kind of buy that you're watching Russell do his thing out on the track.
Generally, what you'll find is that we're moving the camera in a bit of an abstract pattern or something that doesn't really have a rhythm, and we'll be shaking the camera and trying to recreate some of the conditions that you would actually have if you're filming this stuff for real, on the move, on a track. We put green screens behind the backgrounds of both shots, all the angles, so that when today we're out on the track, we'll be shooting background plates, which can be composited in on the green, and then any flies that need to be animated will be animated between the foreground subject and the background.
Not every day you get to wrangle flies. One of the nice things about what we do, I guess, in movies is every day is different. Initially had to track someone down that bred flies, which I started off at the zoo, and they put me onto a number of people, including a company in Merimbula called Bugs for Bugs. They sent me down a bunch of larvae. It's essentially the eggs of flies. They go from maggots to this pupae rather than larvae. Larvae is the maggots, pupae is these little eggs. And then the eggs in turn hatch to become flies. The freshly anaesthetised fly pulverises much better than your day-old dead fly. These here should be doing their thing later today, having been suitably calmed down. The CO2 goes in there, and they all go to sleep. Or if I leave it for long enough, they stay asleep.
I'm Ramesh. I'm a composer at Songzoo, and we're doing the music and sound design for this commercial. This was a really cool job to work on because, for one, it's such a radical idea. It's one of the few occasions where you get a script and we're all really excited by it. In the process with the music, we knew that we all talked about it early on, and we knew it could go in so many different directions, and we wanted to find something special. Thought I'd try a track which would take the old sort of country or blues style and then sample it and reuse it. The process was to get players in, record some stuff in a really authentic style, and then sampling the stuff up and then manipulating it in the computer. So we actually started there, and in the end we decided we'd try to make it a little bit more modern, so we added in some modern kind of drum beats, a real bass player playing double bass. I used a guitarist named Jack Housden, who's the guitarist from the Whitlams. Of course, the really important element is the vocals.
I'm gonna take you to the other side. Don't know how, I don't know why, but it'll make sense if we take a ride across to the other side.
These are all the main elements of the track, and you kind of, mix and match things and try lots of different stuff. And the cool thing is we've had lots of time to experiment to end up where we ended up, because we've ended up somewhere that we weren't expecting to be. And that was due to having, the time and the creative freedom to take the track to its natural progression.
Tim Quarry. I'm the 3D lead at Animal Logic. This has been a pretty challenging job. There's a lot of technical issues to resolve. There's a lot of shots. There's a lot of R&D developing the look of how the flies would behave and how they would attach to the car. We get the footage back and we block out all the animation. In this case, we used just a stand-in 3D car that didn't have any flies on it to work out where all the motion would go. Once the animation was fairly well down the line, then we had some lighting people start looking at it, and they looked at the best way to light it to get it to sit into the scene. That involves rendering lots of different layers: specularity passes, diffuse passes, shadow passes, beauty passes, extra little bits passes. That all gets sent down to the compositor, and then they play around with the levels, and it all takes weeks to happen.
I see it all in my mind before it goes in here. I email sketches halfway around the world, work with my partner Nigo in Japan. Maybe this should be red. Actually, yellow. Yeah, yellow's beautiful. I see music too. Here's what Baby looks like. It's dope, right? Love that beat. I'm way into the whole retro gaming thing. I mean, it takes me back to being a kid in Virginia Beach. My friend sent me this. It gets me every time. I gotta send it to my brother. I have my own pro skate team. I got photos of all these guys in here. It's so crazy. And then I've got my scrap pictures, all the visual things that I love. I mean, the way I see it, art is like music for your eyes. Yes, sir.
HP Pavilion Entertainment Notebooks with Intel Centrino Dual Mobile Technology. The computer is personal again.
This is my whole life right here. I've got pictures going back to the 70s. I paid some neighborhood kid to scan them. I've got videos to embarrass friends. I can't believe I still work with this guy. And let's see here. My blog, because the press never gets it right. I keep every single email. This is the one where I asked my wife out on our very first date 10 years ago. I've got everything with me all the time. And look at all this. All my original budgets, which of course are completely wrong at this point. Cuts we're working on. Greenlighted this one in 12 minutes over email. I never ever miss a game. If I were on the moon, I'd catch it on streaming video. I get 1,000 emails a day. Fans know they can email me all the time, and they do.
HP Compact Business Notebooks with Intel Centrino Duo Mobile Technology. The computer is personal again.
Work finds me wherever I am. I use wireless all over the world. If it's not there, we bring it with us. Hang on. Something's always coming in here. Oh, look at this. Animated set designs. Look, you can fly around the set. That's cool. Let's see. Props from the shows. We're auctioning these for charity. Oh, this is a great new idea. Imagine millions of dollars in solid gold, hidden in plain sight. What else? Oh, new design for a billboard. I like this one. We shoot in jungles, and I can be looking at episodes, hours of footage from the jungle. It's completely crazy. Even on vacation with my family, snowboarding, diving, whatever, work finds me everywhere. Here we go again. I just can't get away. But to be honest, I really wouldn't want to. That's my reality.
HP Compact Business Notebooks with Intel Centrino Duo Mobile Technology. The computer is personal again.
What's that? M-Generation.
Así eran divertidos. M-Generation. Conectividad sin límites. Imagina Samsung.
See that dream up on the screen. It's time to come clean and make your own scene. er et fristende tilbud som bare lurer deg.
Billy Biff!
Unngå lokkebiff. På Rema 1000 er det aldri lokketilbud, bare lave priser.
Series comes to Fox, January 2007.
Totally like walking my dog. I love my fake tan.
Look over here. Look over here. No, here. No, over here. Look over here. Look over here. Look over here. No, look over here. No, here we go. Let's go.